which means she was already pregnant, then got pregnant again.
But 76-year-old Omkari Panawar is actually this boy's mother, after giving birth just 6 years ago.
He's the smallest surviving baby ever born.
So you guys have been trying to get pregnant for a couple of years, right? And then Julia, this summer is when you found out?
Did not know if it was possible, but I went to Kim one day and I said, I'll carry your kids if I can.
He's so small that he's been officially recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Number 10. The pregnant woman who got pregnant. Julia Grovenberg joined an exclusive club with the conception of her second child, Hudson. Want to know how? She was pregnant with their first daughter, Jillian, at the time. Getting pregnant while pregnant is called superfetation, and there are only about 10 cases in recorded medical history.
Which means she was already pregnant, then got pregnant again. She is pregnant with 2 babies, but they're not twins. The condition is called superfetation. So you guys have been trying to get pregnant for a couple of years, right? And then Julia, this summer is when you found out?
No, we saw the second baby at the first sonogram.
At the first sonogram?
We went in for our first appointment, and then they scheduled us for a sonogram 2 weeks after.
Dr. Karen Boyle told Good Morning America when questioned about Grovenberg's case. The babies were conceived within 2 weeks of one another, so the parents can tell them they're twins, though that's an interesting aspect of the anomaly. According to Grovenberg's OBGYN, Dr. Michael Maylert, there appeared to be a discordant growth pattern, possibly due to superfetation. He said, "This is an unusual and rare condition, but the possibility is real."
What was the doctor's reaction?
You know, his initial reaction was littler baby catches up to the bigger baby because it was something so new for him also. They'll be delivered both at the same time. In our hearts, I believe that we both are convinced that it is.
Yeah, I am, definitely.
Yeah.
In the end, both babies were born healthy and at the same time, on December 2nd, 2010, although they originally had due dates a few weeks apart from each other. Number 9. Premature twins. The world record for the most prematurely surviving twins was once held by a pair of Iowa twins, Keely and Cambry Ewalt, who was born to mother Jade Ewalt at 22 weeks in 2018, 125 days premature. The babies weighed just 490 grams and 379 grams respectively upon delivery. Number 8. Twin babies survive a tragedy. Franklin da Silva Zampoli Padilla, 21 years old, suffered a stroke that left her brain dead. A young mother already, she was 9 months pregnant with twins. Doctors at Nosso Senhora do Rocio Hospital warned Franklin's husband, Muriel, that the twins would likely not survive. The trauma Franklin endured would be too much for them to handle, and their hearts would eventually stop beating. Once that awful day came, he could turn off the life support and bury his wife and 2 babies. But their little hearts never stopped. Days turned into weeks, and the young embryos flourished, surviving against all odds in their mother's womb. They were there for a total of 123 days until they were delivered via C-section. This is the longest period of time in medical history that a brain-dead pregnant woman was kept alive on life support. Number 7. The longest labor ever? In 2012, a Polish woman set the record for labor duration. Joanna Szystonek was in labor for 75 days straight. At the insistence of her doctors, she had her feet above her head for part of that time. At 21 weeks pregnant, Szystonek went into labor early. She gave birth to the first of her triplets, but it was far too early and the infant didn't survive. But the labor wouldn't relent. If Szystonek couldn't stop the contractions, her other 2 children might not survive either. Doctors put her in her bed, tilted at 30-degree angle, feet up. That eased the contractions for a few more months until her infants were big enough to be delivered safely. After 75 days of agony, she had a healthy daughter, Iga, and a son named Ignacy. Number 6. When the biological clock doesn't matter. While many women plan to have children by a certain age to assure their fertility, there are a few cases of pregnancies that come along much later in life. Just take the story of Omkari Panawar, who gave birth to healthy twins in 2008 when she was 70 years old.
But 76-year-old Omkari Panawar is actually this boy's mother, after giving birth just 6 years ago, and daughter, Barsat, after a course of IVF. Omkari made international headlines in 2008 when she gave birth to twins, son Akash Fani.
The twins were born a month premature and doctors opted for a cesarean section, but neither of those things is particularly unusual for a pregnancy. Panawar said the following back in 2008, shortly after the birth of her twins.
Friends and family doubted she would cope, but the pensioner was overjoyed to be crowned the world's oldest mother of twins, Omkari, who already had 2 daughters and 5 grandchildren. However, tragedy has since struck when Barsat died, aged 4. Omkari's decision to have children so late in life stirred mixed feelings in the village, but most are now accepting.
If I am the world's oldest mother, it means nothing to me. I just want to see my new babies and care for them while I am still able.
Has now asked for help raising her son, especially as her husband Charan is in his mid-80s. With time not on their side, the elderly couple accept that they may not see Akashvani reach his teens.
Number 5. Super Grandma. When Kim Koseno and her husband realized they couldn't have children, they were heartbroken. That's when Kim's mom stepped up to the plate, and in having her daughter's 3 newborns, JC Dallenberg, 56 years old, may have become the oldest surrogate mom anywhere to have had triplets.
I was just dumbfounded, shocked. Honestly, I didn't even know it was possible.
Did not know if it was possible, but I went to Kim one day and I said, I'll carry your kids if I can.
One of my sisters, well, they all at first thought, well, this is weird, you know, because it is different. Their kids going to think, what are all the kids going to think? How are we going to explain this to people? This is weird.
Kim had an 18-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son, but her second husband Joe wanted to have kids as well. Trouble was, Kim was no longer able to carry a child. They tried to adopt but were having trouble with the process. Observing how good Joe was with Kim's kids and seeing how sincere Kim and Joe were about wanting kids of their own, JC says she thought about it for a year or so, then decided to offer to carry a child or children for Kim and Joe.
You have to have that concern. What other people would say, and I didn't care what they would say, but in my opinion, it wasn't a radical thing. It was just a mommy thing.
But it's my mother. Of all people, it's my mom.
It didn't seem strange to me that Jackie would be carrying my children.
And I would trust nobody more. Am I going to feel, sad, jealous?
It was a great thing that she stepped up to do.
I did think, how am I going to feel?
The result? The third try to transfer eggs to JC turned out to be a charm, and the triplets, though 2 are technically twins and the third a singleton, were born within 2 minutes of each other, 9 weeks premature on October 11, 2008. Number 4. Gigantic twins. A North Carolina hospital announced that a new mom delivered a record-breaking set of twins, who weighed in at a combined 23 pounds and 1 ounce. Sean William Maynard weighed 10 pounds, 14 ounces. Abigail Rose Maynard, 12 pounds, 3 ounces.
Twins that were born in Arkansas in 1927. The proud parents are Joey and Aaron Maynard of Winston-Salem. Sean weighed 10 pounds, 14 ounces. His sister Abigail, she topped that, 12 pounds, 3 ounces. Sean William Maynard and Abigail Rose Maynard were born Tuesday.
Both babies were in excellent condition after their birth to parents Joey and Aaron Maynard of Winston-Salem. The twins are some of the biggest on record. Researchers report that they could find no public record of any twins born since 1900 who are heavier than the Arkansas pair.
Total of 23 pounds and 1 ounce.
Mama survived?
She almost gave birth to toddlers, bless her heart. Woo, that is about 4 pounds less than the combined. They are so cute though.
Sean, tucked in a blue blanket, was held by his mother and sister. Swaddled in pink, was cradled by her father at a hospital interview. The infant slept quietly through their first public appearance. Number 3. World's smallest mother. Doctors said that Tracy Harold wasn't supposed to have children. She was born with a condition called osteogenesis imperfecta. The condition causes brittle bones that fail to develop. As a result of the disorder, Harold stands only 2 feet 4 inches tall. Her physicians said that getting pregnant could be harmful, even fatal to the woman. A developing baby might crush her lungs and her heart, doctors warned. Harold didn't care. She and her husband Will wanted babies, and they had them. Several of them, in fact. By the time she was 36, Harold had successfully given birth to 3 lovely children. Harold told the news that all my babies are miracles, but we haven't thought about if we're going to have some more, as they're a real handful right now. Number 2. World's smallest baby. The world's most premature baby was born on June 2020, but exactly a month later on July 5th, 2020, Curtis I. Keith Means from Alabama, USA was born and went on to break the record. Born at 21 weeks and a day, weighing as much as a soccer ball, Curtis has been certified as the world's most premature baby to survive by the Guinness Book of World Records. He was delivered exactly 1 month after the previous record holder, Richard Hutchinson from Wisconsin, who was born at a gestational age of 21 weeks 2 days.
He's the smallest surviving baby ever born. Curtis Means started his life setting records.
I said I was just praying to say, you know, please keep my kids here with me.
He's so small that he's been officially recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records.
It was hard.
Born at 21 weeks and 1 day.
I knew it was too early to have him.
Or 131 days prematurely on June 5th, 2020. The baby weighed 420 grams. As per the record site, initially, Michelle Shelley Butler's pregnancy seemed to be progressing well and on track to go to full term. But on July 4th, 2020, she had to be rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery.
So before he was born, his chances of survival would have been less than 1%. Survival at such a young gestational age has never happened before.
And the medical team were amazed at his will to live.
He literally was the first of his kind in a sense.
Curtis was a twin, and sadly his sister did not survive. But Curtis was a fighter.
I know his title said 21 weeks and 1 day, but his physiology acted a little bit more mature.
While a full-term pregnancy lasts usually 40 days, Curtis was nearly 19 weeks premature. The child's original due date was November 11, 2021. Number 1. The most premature twins. 2 infants who were born on Mount Sinai Hospital now hold the Guinness World Record for being the youngest surviving premature twins. Adia and Adriel Nadaraha were born when their mother was exactly 22 weeks pregnant. 1 day prior, when Shakina Rajendram was experiencing preterm labor, she was transferred from a community hospital to Mount Sinai Hospital. 1 hour after midnight and 126 days early, Shakina gave birth to a girl named Adaya. 23 minutes later, her brother Adriel was born. Both babies who weighed less than a pound were successfully resuscitated. The world's most premature twins, Adaya and Adriel, celebrated their first birthday surrounded by family and friends on March 4th, 2023.
I was just speechless and yeah.
I asked her, is there a heartbeat? Is there a heartbeat? And she looked at me and she put 2 fingers up and she said, there are 2 heartbeats. And we had found out that we were going to miscarry a baby that we were pregnant with.
That's all for today's video, folks. See you next time.